Good morning, boys and girls. It is so good to be with you again. Even though we're not together, we're together, aren't we? On this beautiful, wonderful Sunday, it's beginning of the season of Pentecost. See, I'm wearing green because Pentecost is making the world grow. Like we have talked, Miss Janet and I have talked with you in the last couple of times about sowing the seeds of love, and the Holy Spirit gives us the Spirit to be able to sow the seeds of love. Isn't it wonderful? So happy Pentecost. Now, Miss Janet is here and she has a wonderful thing to share with you.
So good to be here with Joe and all of you. Like Joe said, we miss you so much. We'll be together soon. I wanted to talk about Pentecost, of course. Pentecost is the gift of the Holy Spirit. Jesus wanted to make sure that we would never be alone. The Good Shepherd is always taking care of us. We are never alone. And the thing in church that represents the Holy Spirit is the dove. And I've got one right here, a dove. I bet Joe, when she's sitting out on her beautiful patio in her yard, hears some doves sometimes. What do you think about when you think about doves, Joe?
What do I think about when I think about doves? Well, you see the image of doves in the Bible a lot, and so that's an image that's kind of in the heart. Now, in terms of painting a dove, I don't know. Miss Janet is much better about painting things like that and making things. She made this dove, for crying out loud. Now, I can't even draw a dove. Some of you, I'm thinking about Thomas Flatt especially, is a great drawer, and Alex. Some of you guys are good at drawing. So I want to put something on paper now that shows my love of doves as a creature of God, and sort of like help me get into the Holy Spirit of Pentecost. All right? Now, I think I showed you before. Do you have a pencil? Can you draw? If you can't, maybe you can color, or if you're as lucky as me, maybe you have some kind of watercolor. And if you do, let's try. Okay, I have some blue here, because doves are supposed to be blue, aren't they? Aren't doves blue? Does that look like a dove? Doesn't look like a dove, does it? No, but you know what? Who cares? It's my reflection, and my Holy Spirit knows that I was thinking about a dove when I did that. I wonder, is there such a thing as a green dove? It is Pentecost, and that is the color. That's okay, isn't it? All right. Miss Janet.
I love it.
Don't you love my green dove? My green dove. Oh, and to make it even more complete, maybe it's even got a little yellow in it. I love yellow. Do you love yellow? Do you love yellow? Okay. See, you can use any color that you've got. If you're lucky enough to have some watercolor that your mommy maybe bought you, like my daughter brought for me, or just a colored pencil, it will work. It's what's in your heart and how you show your feeling about the wonderful dove of Pentecost. Isn't that lovely? I just love to paint, don't you? Hey, but you know what? You know what I really love to do? Since my hands don't work too well because I'm getting old, you know. Well, and I never have been very good at painting and drawing or any of that stuff anyway. But I found something, thanks to Miss Janet, that made me so happy a few weeks ago. She made, remember, this purple paint? And she said to you then that if you want the recipe for how to make a paint, she called the church office and she'd send it to you. But this was her purple paint that I had. It's lovely. It's kind of scratchy. You have no idea what that is, do you? Well, okay, as we talk all the time and at this time, it doesn't matter what you think, it matters what I think. And I happen to love that. And you know what kind of painting that is? That's what we call painting with your fingers. And you can come up with beautiful things. Painting with your fingers. Start with yellow. Oh, that's my hand. Isn't that fun? But okay, all right, now we gotta make it more. Okay, green, which I'm so predictable. Green and yellow. How about that? Oh, and maybe a little bit of blue, because that really is the color of the dove. It's good. That's not coming out too good. Ah. There we go. See, that's the sky, isn't it? That can be the sky. And I know what this, I know what this is. And this down here is flowers. Can't get my red to go. Okay, see, that's the flowers that we grow in Pentecost. Because when we think about heart, we think of red, don't we? And you look at some kind of red flowers. I don't know, they make my heart sing. Do they? For you? Anyway, isn't that beautiful? So that's what you call watercolor painting. I love it. Don't you love it?
That's great.
Listen, don't worry. Mommy, it washes off, and if you get it on your clothes, his clothes or her clothes, that washes off too. But that's kind of fun, isn't it? I mean, it could be like Halloween. God bless you. I love you. Now, back to Miss Janet.
That's fun. It's fun to be messy, and Joe and Pam and Kathleen and I want you all to have a craft to work on. So this is a great representation of the Holy Spirit descending and to be with us. And I also made my own interpretation of it with tissue paper, and it kind of has a stained glass effect. And Joe, we're thinking, how are the kids going to do this? They're at home. They may not have all these different things, right, to make the craft with.
That's right, Janet.
So this week, Joe and Pam and Kathleen and I are going to put in the mail a package to you. We're mailing it, a package with all these things for you guys to make your own interpretation of the Holy Spirit. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And like Joe always reminds us, maybe have your mom and dads take a picture of what you come up with, because you always knock our socks off, and send it to the church email, because we would love to see what you come up with, right?
Absolutely.
Right, Joe?
Yes.
And one more thing I wanted to show you. Joe and I have put together the next time we're at church, which hopefully is soon, Joe put all of your all's photos, doing all the artwork, into a big notebook that's going to be in the Sunshine Room, right, Joe?
Yeah, with the other album.
With all the other albums. So if you're there with your parents or maybe grandparents or a friend, you want to show them what you've been doing, say, come over here and find my picture, and I want to show you what we've been up to. So be sure the next time you're at church, which is going to be soon, I hope, Joe,
Oh, me too.
Take
honey.
take a look at that. Thanks for having me in your yard, Joe.
Oh, darling Janet, it's so good to have her here, and I want so bad to give her a hug, and we can't do that.
Soon.
But we love each other across the patio, just as we love you wherever you are in your home, and just as you, with the Holy Spirit, will sow the seeds of love with all the people that you meet. We love you so much.